Hey, what's up, house groups? If you were at church on Sunday, you know that this week Mike, he talked to us about the paper wall of money. And just as I was listening and trying to think about what I was going to talk about tonight, I realized, I don't know, I don't think I necessarily need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to money. Like, you're all smart people. We all know that money is like a touchy and sometimes weird subject to talk about, like especially in church. And since that's the case for just about everybody who lives in the U.S., I thought that maybe what we could do to help us get over that paper wall in our lives is just press pause on the video for a second and go around the circle. Let's just have everyone sit down and just say how much money you make every year. We'll go gross income. No, I'm kidding. Please don't do that. But it's weird. Talking about money, it's weird for some reason. And when you think about the fact that we live in a country that was kind of built on the principles of individual liberties and freedom from things like heavy taxation, it makes sense that the American dream, while it's very good at building up individuals, it doesn't necessarily do a great job of building the kingdom of God. And that's just the culture that we live in. We're a product of our environment. And so it's no wonder that we cling so tight to money and the stuff that we can buy with it. How we got here, it makes sense. It adds up. But staying here, it doesn't, at all. Because we were created for more than the pursuit of financial stability. Like Mike said on Sunday, we were created for lives where money serves us and helps us serve God. But make no mistake, we live in this world that pushes us to just flip that equation upside down and live in a way where we want God to serve us while we serve money. And you know where that leaves us? Just feeling empty and afraid and insecure. And really, we can check the stats on that too. Prescription medications for anxiety have increased in just 2022 between 30 and 70%, depending on the drug. Just this year, post-pandemic. And that's just prescriptions. That doesn't even include the crazy increase in alcohol use, alcohol abuse, and opioid and other drug dependencies related to stress. And what ties kind of this neat little bow together for this fact is that no matter really what chart or study or article you read, 100% of the time, finances is listed high on the list of things that cause stress and anxiety in people's lives. And that's because money promises what only God can provide. We're looking for satisfaction and security and significance, and we've been led to believe that if we just work hard enough, we can buy it. And yet so many of the richest people in the world seem to end up divorced and unsatisfied and continue chasing after more when they seemingly have it all. And it's just kind of this sick and twisted cycle that seems to keep happening over and over again. And I think it's because it keeps happening because everyone, including us, including me, is the exception, right? Yeah, those idiots. Of course money isn't going to bring them this deep sense of satisfaction, you dumb dummies. Go to church. And then you sit on Google for a second, you Google, can a Tesla pull a boat? And your wife comes over, honey, you're not going to buy a Tesla. You're not getting that. Well, obviously, not right now. I'm just looking. I'm barely drooling. I'm just looking at it. I mean, when you think about it long term, just think about how much we'd be saving on gas. So who's the idiot now? But, man, it looks so cool in this thing. As it turns out, we're not the exceptions. We, like everybody else, we have to navigate the lies and temptations that money can have on our lives. Money, it promises us a lot of things. Again, it promises satisfaction. If you have enough money, then you'll be able to be happy and satisfied with your life. It promises security. If you accumulate enough zeros at the end of your bank account, then you're safe from whatever may come. And it tries to promise us significance. If you just get enough stuff, then your life will count for something and it'll truly matter. And again, while we know that money can't provide us with those things, we just keep running back to it. Like a dog to its vomit, we just can't get enough of it. We store up treasure after treasure so that we can talk about it at the office, or we can show it off to our families, or that jerk from high school on Instagram that we just want to rub it in their face a little bit. But no matter the reason, we tend to aim our lives in the direction of accumulation. Our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, our futures. How can I accumulate? How can I get things? Big things, shiny things, better things, new things, more things. Just get. But what we learn on Sunday is that Jesus says storing up treasures in heaven is incompatible with an accumulation mindset. Treasures on earth and treasures in heaven, they're mutually exclusive. And so if that's the case and we're called to more than accumulation, what does it look like to store up treasures in heaven? It's kind of pretty simple. What's the opposite of get? It's to give. Instead of accumulation, focus on distribution. Like give. It's taking what God has put in our hands and distributing it to make a kingdom impact. Like give things, big things, more things, better things. Give, distribute. Which, yes, it might mean making some sacrifices and not getting every new thing we see that we really want to accumulate. But the last thing that I want to mention as I close out this week's video is just something that Mike said kind of regarding that. He said it on Sunday, and I thought it was super powerful. We don't have to acquire everything we admire. This is like this just mind-blowing idea in 21st century America, because everything else around us is telling us the exact opposite. Like marketing, it's literally a business meant to manipulate you into believing that you'll be satisfied and secure and significant if you would just buy this thing. It's capitalism. And I promise you that God, he wants more for you than what you can buy for yourself. And I also know that we all understand this concept intellectually. But when it comes to putting it into practice, like there's just some tension that gets created. And I kind of want to leave us in that tension a little bit today as we head into groups. And just kind of remind us again, what is the opposite of getting? It's giving. How can we begin taking steps towards shifting our perspectives to be more kingdom-oriented than self-oriented? Like that's what I want to talk about in groups tonight. So how do we do this? What steps are we going to take? How can we hold each other accountable? Do I have to sell my house and live in a shack in a cornfield? Probably not. I don't know. Talk with your group about it. But ultimately, let's all see just how we can begin taking steps through the paper wall of money in our lives and into the life of satisfaction and security and significance that God is calling us to and promises us.